When we first met, it didn't take me very long to figure out that I found the love of my life. Whether it was a snowboarding trip where we talked for hours and connected so fast on everything, or when I got to know the true quirky Jenna that I really fell hard for. Either way, I knew I could never let you go.
Before I met you, I was quite sure I would never find someone who really understood me and loved me for who I was. I wasn't waiting for the right person to come along because I didn't think they existed. When I met you, my life completely changed. If I tried to imagine what the perfect person would be like, they wouldn't have even come close to you.
Oh my God. I missed you. I missed you so much. You look so handsome. Yeah?
You know how I like to take things slow, but planning to propose to you was one of the easiest decisions I've ever had to make. Because when we were together, everything fits so perfectly. It feels like we were made for each other.
Oh, I picked up some sticks.
Please be seated, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the marriage ceremony of Jenna Lynn Smith and Jeremy Nicholas Zeckel. Beautiful setting, beautiful afternoon, beautiful bride. My name is Ken Nielsen. On November 1st, 2014, I presided at the marriage ceremony of Alexander Zeckel and Bradley Kennedy. At that time, I offered to do a 2-for-1 ceremony for Lucas Zeckel and Julie Thoreau. They declined. Therefore, on November 5th, 2016, I presided at the marriage ceremony of Lucas Zeckel and Julie Thoreau. At that time, I offered to Jeremy and Jenna that I would do a double header. They declined. Therefore, I'm now presiding at the 3rd Zeckel wedding in something less than 4 years. It's been a great honor and privilege for me to preside at the previous 2 ceremonies, and I'm delighted to have been asked to be a part of this marriage ceremony for the last of the Zeckel children. As I've said at the previous ceremonies, Jeremy's father, Herb, and I practiced law together for nearly 30 years. The Zeckel family is amongst our closest friends. Our kids have grown up together. We spent significant time together, and we've traveled together. I couldn't be happier than being involved in the final Zeckel wedding. We are gathered in this place to witness the formal joining in the legal state of matrimony for this couple, according to the order, customs prevailing, and authority granted by the province of Alberta. This is a solemn and important occasion for each of you. In marriage, you not only acquire legal obligations and legal rights with respect to each other, but you each entrust your whole future to the other and join his or her life with all of its joys and all of its burdens to your own. By giving yourselves in marriage, you undertake to live together as husband and wife, to comfort and support each other, and to be faithful to each other until death parts you. Your life together will not only concern you alone. Your marriage is important to you, but it is also important to others, to your family, and to your whole community. We all depend upon other people. We all depend upon the organized community for safety and prosperity, and indeed for everything that we cannot make or do ourselves. But the community will fail us unless we give it a strong and durable foundation, families in which love and fidelity prevail. In a true marriage, a couple will share life in mutual love and fulfillment. This is why marriage is not merely a private contract, but it is governed by law. It is why it is the law that marriage is a union between 2 persons to the exclusion of all others, and that each of them must intend the marriage to last until one of them dies. Marriage is a most important social transaction. Yet your marriage is much more than a legal transaction. The source of marriage is not the law, but human nature. Human nature makes us want to live together as husband and wife, but it also makes it hard to do so. In every marriage, there are strains and sorrows. It takes common sense, courage, faithfulness, and generosity to withstand the troubles and trials of married life. But if you will love each other patiently and generously, you will be able to bear them, and you will even find happiness through them. Indeed, generous, unselfish love is happiness, and you will attain it in no lesser way. In marriage, each of you gives themselves to the other wholly and forever. Give yourselves with a whole heart so that your marriage may be perfect. It is with this high and serious state that these 2 persons desire to be joined in marriage. I would ask the family and friends assembled here this afternoon if they support this couple in this lifelong commitment that they are making to each other. If so, please answer, we do. I would now ask that if any person can show just cause and sufficient reason why these 2 persons may not be joined in matrimony, let them now declare these reasons, or else from this time forward keep their peace. I now call upon you both in the presence of these witnesses to repeat the following. Jenna, please repeat after me.
Okay. Your bouquet there.
Okay.
You okay?
Yeah.
I do solemnly declare
I do solemnly declare
that I do not know
that I do not know
of any lawful impediment
of any lawful impediment
why I, Jenna Lynn Smith,
why I, Jenna Lynn Smith,
may not be joined in matrimony
may not be joined in matrimony
to Jeremy Nicholas Zeckel.
to Jeremy Nicholas Zeckel.
And Jeremy, please repeat after me. I do solemnly declare
I do solemnly declare
that I do not know
that I do not know
of any lawful impediment
of any lawful impediment
why I, Jeremy Nicholas Zeckel,
while I, Jeremy Nicholas Zeckel,
may not be joined in matrimony
may not be joined in matrimony
to Jenna Lynn Smith.
to Jenna Lynn Smith.
As no impediment was declared or admitted, I require you to give answers to these questions. Do you, Jeremy Nicholas Zeckel, promise to give to this woman the love of your person, the comfort of your companionship, and the patience of your understanding? Will you share with her equally the necessities of life as they may be earned or enjoyed by yourself, and to respect the dignity of her own personal rights? If so, please answer, I do.
I do.
And do you, Jenna Lynn Smith, promise to give to this man the love of your person, the comfort of your companionship, and the patience of your understanding? Will you share with him equally the necessities of life as they may be earned or enjoyed by yourself, and to respect the dignity of his own personal rights? If so, please answer, I do.
I do.
Jeremy and Jenna have prepared vows that they wish to exchange, and I now ask them to do so. Jeremy?
My little one. When we first met, it didn't take me very long to figure out that I found the love of my life. Whether it was a snowboarding trip where we talked for hours and connected so fast on everything, or when I got to know the true quirky Jenna that I really fell hard for. Either way, I knew I could never let you go. You know how I like to take things slow, but planning to propose to you was one of the easiest decisions I've ever had to make, because when we were together, everything fits so perfectly. It feels like we were made for each other. Every time you smile, my heart melts, and I know my purpose in life. You are the most sensitive and thoughtful person I have ever known, and you care so much about everything that just being near you makes me the happiest man alive. Every time I look into your amazing blue eyes, I can see how much you love me, and I hope that you know I love you so much more. It makes me so happy that you have chosen me to be a part of your life, and I can't wait to make you smile, laugh, and take care of you for the rest of our lives. I love you, Bese.
That's awesome. Jeremy, this is gonna be hard. Before I met you, I was quite sure I would never find someone who really understood me and loved me for who I was. I wasn't waiting for the right person to come along because I didn't think they existed. When I met you, my life completely changed. If I tried to imagine what the perfect person would be like, they wouldn't have even come close to you. We are so perfect for each other, I think it amazes the both of us sometimes. You make me laugh every single day we are together. You are my rock whenever I need support. You have the strength to be there for me even when I'm being completely irrational. And on top of all that, you inspire me and encourage me to be a stronger, more confident person, to challenge my fears, and to be the best version of myself I can be. I'm so lucky to be standing here today, so absolutely certain with every bone in my body that marrying you is the best decision I will ever make in my entire life. Every day with you is the best day ever, and I can't wait to continue our amazing life together after marrying you today.
Not yet.
I don't know. Sure, thank you.
Now will you please face one another and join hands? And I would ask you, Jeremy, to repeat after me. I call upon those persons present
I call upon those persons present
to witness
to witness
that I, Jeremy Nicholas Zeckel,
that I, Jeremy Nicholas Zeckel,
do take you,
Jenna Lynn Smith,
to be my lawful wedded wife,
to be my lawful wedded wife,
to have and to hold,
from this day forward,
in whatever circumstances or experiences life may hold for us. And Jenna, I would ask you to repeat after me. I call upon those persons present
I call upon those persons present
to witness
that
I, Jenna Lynn Smith, do take you, Jeremy Nicholas Zeckel, to be my lawful wedded husband, to have and to hold, from this day forward, in whatever circumstances or experiences life may hold for us. Jenna and Jeremy will now exchange rings.
I do great. And you got them both?
Having declared these marriage vows, I would ask you, Jeremy, to place the ring on the third finger of Jenna's left hand, repeating after me. Jenna, I give you this ring, that you may wear it, as a lasting reminder of our marriage vows, and as a symbol of my love and commitment to you. And Jenna, repeat after me. I accept this ring as a symbol of your love and commitment. And I would ask you, Jenna, to place the ring on the third finger of Jeremy's left hand, repeating after me. Jeremy, I give you this ring, that you may wear it, as a lasting reminder of our marriage vows, and as a symbol of my love and commitment to you. And Jeremy, repeat after me. I accept this ring as a symbol of your love and commitment. Jenna Lynn Smith and Jeremy Nicholas Zeckel, you have consented in marriage and have declared your solemn intention in this company, before these witnesses, and in my presence. You have exchanged these rings as a pledge of your love, and you have joined your hands to accept one another. Now, upon the authority vested in me by the province of Alberta, I pronounce you husband and wife. Your commitment may be sealed with a kiss. May you enjoy the length of days, fulfillment of hopes, and peace and contentment of mind as you day by day live and fulfill the terms of the covenant you have made today with one another. Jeremy and Jenna will now proceed to sign the marriage register just over here to the left.
Yeah.
Where I get to sit?
Yeah, sure. I don't know.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to now introduce to you Mr. and Mrs. Jeremy Zeckel.
Every time you smile, my heart melts, and I know my purpose in life.
We are so perfect for each other. I think it amazes the both of us sometimes. You make me laugh every single day we are together. You are my rock whenever I need support. You have the strength to be there for me even when I'm being completely irrational. And on top of all that, you inspire me and encourage me to be a stronger, more confident person, to challenge my fears, and to be the best version of myself I can be.
Every time you smile, my heart melts, and I know my purpose in life.
Wow.
We are
This is
her
pretty
and
daunting.
mother and father of the groom, or father and mother of the groom. Got that right. Jeremy Nicholas, our baby. We are so excited to be here today at this joyous occasion. Jeremy was the cutest little boy with his head of golden curls, which garnered much attention, especially from kindly older ladies. The only problem was Jeremy didn't enjoy all this head patting attention in the slightest and would give these kind-hearted souls cold, icy stares. And it was embarrassing for his parents. I can, however, say that Jeremy has done a complete 180 and now enjoys, even craves attention, even from kind older women. As with most parents, by the time Jeremy was born, we were pretty much relaxed about parenting than we were with our first two. You could say we'd become experts, and as a result, Jeremy turned out kind of perfect. There are, however, setbacks in being the last child. Fewer photographs of Jeremy is one. We realized in the nick of time, though, that Jeremy hadn't had swimming lessons like Alex and Luke, as we'd assumed he'd had them. Who knows what else he missed out on? Maybe not the expert parents we thought we were. Being tormented by older siblings was, of course, another setback, which I'm sure Alex and Luke will allude to. I can only say that they have also done a complete 180 and are now kind, loving, and considerate siblings. We are immensely proud of our baby, who has turned into a fine young man, and I need say no more. But you will. No. Jenna brings a happy spirit into our family, which I'm sure she gleaned from Gail, Bob, and her 3 sisters. She gets teased by us because that is what we do. And she laughs and is gracious with our antics. Our family time is now enriched with Jenna's presence. She has been part of our family for some time now, but we welcome her now formally, and we look forward to many more laughs together with Jenna. Thanks to everyone for sharing this joyous occasion with us and what is a very special day in our lives, and thanks to all those who may help make it possible. And Deb would like to say a few words as well.
Okay, love you. I'd like to thank everyone for celebrating with us tonight here. For Herb and I, Jem and Jenna's wedding is the final episode of a trilogy. 3 kids married off. Yay, finally. But no time to bask in the fruits of our labours, because we've got grandchildren coming thick and fast. Jenna and Jeremy are both a little out there in their approach to life. It is a wonderful gift of fate that they flew into the same airspace about 5 years ago and became locked into their own little galaxy. Jeremy is the dreamer of the family and is attuned to the beat of his own drum. He lives life like it's an adventure, an event which began in the intensive care unit of the Royal Alex Hospital 34 years ago. A couple of heart-stopping moments, both literally and figuratively, did not get the better of him, and in a day he was trying to escape the confines of the incubator to get on with his life. Jem can adapt to and thrive in new situations without losing who he is as a person or compromising his principles. I'm proud to be your mum, love. Jenna is feisty and accomplished, and also seems to confront life on her own terms. Jenna. She also travels to the beat of her own drum and manages to stay grounded and gracious. Our family is very happy to have you a part of our lives. We wish you all our love to my babies.
I just want to talk a little bit about them, although I think they talked a little bit before about how Jenna and Jeremy are pretty similar in their style of humor and everything, and I'm just very happy for them. They're crazy in love, and they're a little bit crazy in the way their humor rolls. I've seen it a lot. They come out to my house every time they come out to the house. There's some wild and crazy thing happening. I'll never forget the time they were, I don't know why we were talking about the Titanic movie, but before I knew it, there was Jenna on the arm of the couch, leaning forward. You know that picture of them? Leaning forward, and then Jeremy behind her, and they're looking forward into the ocean, the two of them together. They'll do that forever, I think. They're off into the sunset together. And just the other day, I mean, this was just, 4 days ago, I show up at their house with this. I had to go to the Long and McQuaid to try and find a sound system which it didn't need a plug-in, right? So I found this sound system and took it to their house to show them. And within a few minutes, Jeremy's suggesting to Jenna that she do some karaoke, and then Jenna takes the mic and goes for it. And Jeremy's just snapping his fingers. I love their humor. I love who they are together. I love that they appreciate each other's humor. And I hope they take that humor right forward, right to the end of your life, because it's going to help you a lot. Get through some tough times. Just always see the humor in things, you guys, because you're just amazing, and you make me laugh so much. And I'm so happy, Jeremy. And not just Jeremy, Jeremy's family. They are just wonderful, and it's wonderful to have you guys in our family too. So I love you guys.
So, to be clear, it doesn't really matter what Gail and I or Herb and Deb or anyone else says. The usual function of this kind of talk and diatribe is to convince everyone still in doubt that this is a good union. But Jenna and Jeremy already know this. And anyone who knows them both knows what an awesome union this is. But if you only know one of them, you're not sure. So, let me use my time then to fill in a few blanks for historical purposes. I struggled a bit to prepare these words. I've talked to folks. We agree. Jenna is hard to typify. Jenna showed a lot of potential when she was a kid. We just didn't know what for. She could have been a disc jockey. We have the tapes with running commentary, in-depth interviews, and her young alter ego basking in the fame of it all. More on that later, I guess. Jenna always had enough imagination. Some kids, where's Carrie? have imaginary friends when they're young. Jenna had, and this is a true story, an imaginary biker gang. It's hard to discipline a child like that. Later on, many of you know that Jenna had a deep love for Japanese culture and language. She taught English in Japan for 2 years. And it was on our family visit to Japan that Jenna provided an epiphanic moment for me. I had to work that in. There she was, overseas, living in her second language. She was with her koto teacher, I remember, giving us a duet with her teacher on that, I think, 13 or 14 stringed instrument. It's got a lot of strings. Doing translation for the family and helping us through a formal tea. And that's when I thought to myself, this kid is never going to settle down on the farm. And eventually, I heard about this Jeremy character in gushing terms. I was told he was pretty much like Matthew McConaughey. You may hear more about that later too. But my first thought was, Matthew McConaughey. Which one? As in failure to launch? Young boy child that never leaves home? Maybe the Wolf of Wall Street, where he's a vicious moneymaker with no concern for other people. Or maybe he's Magic Mike. And those of you that haven't seen Magic Mike, I'm not going to ask him about it.
I saw it.
On the other hand, he could have been the Matthew McConaughey from Interstellar or Contact, and I love science fiction. Fast forward to a few years later, and I've come to know and appreciate Jeremy for the fine, upstanding young man that he is. He hasn't done any stripping so far in front of me. Although, I have seen him wear an oven mitt for a hat at certain times of the night. He really ingratiated himself to me when I had sod delivered at my new house. And I procrastinate sometimes. So by the time I got the sod ordered, it started to snow. And Jeremy, being the only landscaper that I know and trust at that point, had said that, it's not a good time. But he came home from work at the bar, I think, still in his dress clothes, and saw the predicament I was in. And we had a snow rake. So he said, just give me some boots. Just give me some boots. And if we laid all that sod for that house in the snow and the wet and the rain, I haven't forgiven him yet. To sum up those two unique people, I think the yin and the yang are well united in this marriage. And as I said at the beginning, that Jenna is hard to typify, but I know for sure that Jeremy gets her. And I know that she gets him. And it's a beautiful thing. And all of us here are over the moon to see this wedding take place. So I love you, and best of luck. Thank you.
So I'm Nina, and my claim to fame today is that I'm Jenna's best friend, and we've been best friends now for 28 years. Our friendship began in 1995 at a preschool in the Little Red Schoolhouse in the hamlet of Harrop, BC. Since that day, we have shared a treasured friendship that has survived many times apart, but we've always stayed close. Jenna's kindness and caring has definitely influenced the person I am today. Jenna and I were inseparable from preschool until the end of grade 6 when her family moved away. She was still a sister to me since then. Her sisters April, Carrie, and Jessica, and her parents Bob and Gail were all a huge and important part of my growing up years. I have many stories I could tell about our growing up years, but I've told I have about 5 minutes, so that won't work. But there are a couple I'd like to share. There was a common theme in Nelson, as Jenna's mom would take care of me after school. Often when it was time for my parents to come pick me up, Jenna would always be conspiring on how to hide so I could stay longer. I remember one particular creative plan that involved us lining up pails of water along her driveway, trying to, don't know how we thought we would get my mom's truck stuck. We proceeded to dump the water in the driveway, hoping my dad, like I said, would get stuck. Of course, it didn't work. We had pails and hoses and buckets, and we were stirring them with sticks. It was quite funny. We also had schemes of hiding on Gail. Usually under the canoe, which usually scared the crap out of her. And I also in her trailer down the ravine, because we just didn't want to stop playing together. At the end of grade 6, Jenna's family had to move to Whitehorse, and I still remember the day that she gave me the sad news. It's pretty devastating. It felt like we were a world away, but that's just how it felt at the time. At the time, there was no computers or access to social media, but we kept in touch through writing letters. Actually, Jenna still has them, which I'm very interested to see.
Some of them are not good.
It was a true testament to our friendship they were able to stay close even though we were far away at the time. I was lucky to visit Jenna in Whitehorse, and we actually went on a trip around Alaska with her and her family, camping, which is pretty cool. After high school, Jenna moved to Edmonton. We were both in college and university, so our times together were limited, and then she left to Japan for a year. But even when we came back and we saw each other, it felt like no time had been lost. I remember a quote I once read, friends are connected heart to heart, and distance and time can't break them apart. So that's how I feel about Jenna. In 2011, when my husband Marty and I were married, Jenna was my maid of honor. And now today, Jenna is a beautiful bride marrying her best friend Jeremy, and I'm so happy and honored to be sharing this day with you both. And a final note to Jeremy that she was my best friend first. My warmest congratulations and love to you both on this very special day. And Jenna, I'm so excited to share many more years of friendship with you. Thank you.
All right, so I'm starting the speech for the three of us. So as many of you know, we're the sisters of the bride. And we have had the privilege of watching Jenna grow and change over time into the amazing woman that she is today. As much as she has grown and changed over the years, there's something about the core of who she is that has never changed, and that's her eccentric streak, which apparently we're not the first to note on this evening. As a young girl, Jenna carried around a tape recorder and recorded a radio show as her alter ego, John Jingle, pretending to interview big-time Canadian celebrities, such as Sarah Polly and her dog, with passion and gusto.
When us girls would make forts and play house outside, we all had different character names that we used, going so far as to make elaborate name signs for our branch and bush dwellings in the forest near the house. I challenge you to guess which of the following names was Jenna's of these three. Melody, Crystal, and Sass Bucket. Not a hard guess if you've witnessed Jenna's eccentric streak as we have. After all the years of knowing Jenna, we came to know just how amazing and weirdly wonderful this free-spiritedness, quirkiness, and eccentricity that is a part of who she is. We also knew that if she was going to meet her perfect match, this person would not only have to love this part of our sister, but encourage her to keep this part of herself and to never change.
And then along came Jeremy. And I don't know if any of you know this, but he's kind of weird. And if you don't know this, stay tuned for the PowerPoint. Not only did he embrace and encourage the part of our sister that we love so much, but he seems to have always have one-upped it. We sadly weren't there to witness the weirdness of Jeremy during his childhood, but we've been told that as a kid he used to spend hours in the bathtub practicing his ninja moves. And you know, it really wouldn't surprise me if he still does it to this day. Even stranger still, I think Jenna might love him for it. Jenna and Jeremy both have the same bizarre sense of humor, as noted by many other people tonight, and memorable signature dance moves, which by the way will likely be on display later, so stay tuned. The two have an amazing ability to make everyone around them have fun and feel included. Most importantly though, something that they both share is an intense compatibility and a love clearly visible to those around them. We knew from the day you two met that you were the ones for each other, and we are so incredibly happy and proud to be standing up here with you on your wedding day. Here's to the best sister and brother-in-law we could ever ask for.
Johnny Jingles.
You're welcome.
I'm Alex, the first tormentor of Jeremy.
I'm Luke, the assistant to first tormentor of Jeremy.
Jeremy came into our lives when I was, when I was 6 and Luke was 4.
Little curly-headed.
Whoa! Let's stop there for a second. From the very beginning, we realized it was going to be our responsibility to raise Jeremy.
Mom and Dad at this point were exhausted. Well, from mostly Alex. And so it was our time to step up and raise Jeremy.
This may explain Jeremy's early years, which were coined the spaz years.
Jeremy is a baby head, beautiful blonde curls, and big, beautiful blue eyes.
But something lay beneath.
We have no idea where Jeremy's rage and anger came from.
No idea.
No idea. Oh, yeah. Well, we did torment him and then encourage his madness with our bull impressions when he was really mad.
Didn't you also used to run into the bathroom when he was bathing just to pee on him?
That was one time. One time. Didn't you hide him in the basement once with a knife because you thought someone was breaking into our house?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure why Mom and Dad ever left me alone with you guys. Jeremy ran away every single time.
I'm not sure why they left that little psycho alone at home with us. Remember when that time when he chased me with Dad's ornamental African axe?
Yeah. Okay, so I'll stop you there. Not only does my father have an African ornamental axe, but it was in reach of a 4-year-old.
I just remember running through the front yard thinking, well, he's not gonna throw it, and then...
So at this stage, we decided things weren't working, and we decided to switch up our parenting method.
Our first attempt turned him into kind of a little monster, so we need to change things up.
I think our second attempt led us into the weird years.
A common note for the evening?
Yeah.
Where do we begin?
Well, first of all, he was always naked. You could find him anywhere around the house, curled up on a heat vent, naked.
He never really grew out of that. Rob, do you remember that time when you came over to the house and Jeremy had to dive behind the piano because he was naked watching TV and he was like 14 or 15? And Tim, do you also remember that time when we were all playing the Tramps, like you and... Oh, I'll do the push-ups after this.
It's too up. Good form.
As if I don't sweat enough. Anyways, so remember Ranga, that time when Jeremy came out and like we're all bouncing the tramp and he just like looked at us, goes, "I am captain!" and then just ran back into the house. Most younger siblings might try to look cool in front of their older brother and friends. Not our Jeremy.
If I'm not mistaken, Allison once told me she saw Jeremy running to school laughing hysterically. Just running and laughing.
What was going on in that head?
Who knows? I have never met anybody with the ability to block out everything and everyone. You could literally be this far away from him.
He was always a bit special. And, well, maybe still is a little bit special.
In fact, I used to try and prevent my junior high students from using inappropriate slang when it came to mental disabilities by telling them I had a brother who had Down syndrome. And I would teach them that that word was offensive. They would feel immediate regret, and the lesson was clear. But it did backfire when they always thought it was Jeremy.
In all fairness, though, he did give us good reason. Remember that time I put on the family group chat to send to Australia to tell them that we were having a baby boy? And Jeremy was like, "Oh, congrats, guys, congratulations." He'd known for like over a month that we were having a boy.
Just forgotten. Jeremy's obliviousness also led to several family surgeries.
Dad, plate brothers for life. Little curly-headed.
Okay.
Jeremy finding Jenna was fate. Not only does she put up with his hygiene issues, but she actually seems to appreciate his pungent musk.
Honestly, he has had BO since he's 12.
And other than today, Jenna, when was the last time he washed his hair?
Yeah, seriously. Gross.
Speaking of gross, here's a story for you. Picture a 12-year-old Jeremy playing soccer, and as he runs by the sidelines, he yells to Mom, "Mom, go get the car, now!" Once Mom gets the car and the car is in sight, Jeremy just beelines it right off the soccer field, leaving his fellow teammates and coaches a little confused. Poor little guy, once in the car, he informs my mother of the emergency and tells her to floor it. Poor little guy was so close. Unfortunately, just as he arrives home, he's greeted by myself, Ranga, thank you, and Ted. If you know anything about Ranga and Ted, these are probably the last people on the planet you want to be catching you at a low spot. And a low point it was. Jeremy had left a Hansel and Gretel-like trail leading up the pathway of not breadcrumbs. Needless to say, we've never let him live this one down. On a more serious note, though, Jeremy is so much more than just poop, rage, and weirdness.
My little brother Jeremy. I can't say I've always understood Jeremy, but I have always respected his uniqueness and his wide array of interests. Jeremy has been playing pool for 10 years in a pool league with some gentlemen here this evening. They have been so successful, they have even won a trip to Vegas in this league. Jeremy is also enrolled in an Ikebana class with Jenna, and they have done all their own centerpieces here for the evening. What grown man doesn't like Japanese flower arranging? Am I right? He also plays ultimate frisbee on Thursday nights with family and friends. Just a man of many talents. Oh, yeah, and he really is into elves. Don't know why. I have been fortunate enough to play on many sports teams with Jeremy, from soccer to slow pitch, volleyball, and ultimate. I love playing sports with Jeremy because he is a phenomenal athlete, a good sport, and always a good time. We have always been close, but as we get older and spend more time together, I appreciate him more and more. Jeremy is always up for anything, and I love the activities, and I love activities, so we always have fun together. Seeing Jeremy be an amazing uncle to my little man Theo melts my heart. It makes me realize how lucky Theo is every day to have you as an uncle. Sometimes our closeness has been questioned. Roxanne was having a karaoke party a while ago now, and we thought it was a good idea to do a little rendition of Can You Feel the Love Tonight from The Lion King. I guess we were pretty passionate about our performance because one of the bystanders said to Roxanne, "Alex and her boyfriend are really into each other." Roxanne had to reply with, "Alex doesn't have a boyfriend. That is her brother." Pretty awkward, but I'm sure we nailed it, Jem. Love ya.
Jeremy and I are always given a hard time for being so similar, and I've been mistaken for Jem more times than I can count. Despite everything we've said here tonight, though, I always consider it a compliment that anyone sees anything in me that's in him. In reality, we're probably similar because we've literally spent our lives by each other's side. Through school, work, college, moving out together, starting our own business together. I am so lucky to have you by my side for these life events. And Jenna, I hope you know that making this official today means that you're now stuck with me too. I guess I've always wanted my little brother around. Growing up, my friends always asked, "Where's Jem? Is he coming too?" It never mattered that he was 4 years younger or got Ted and I kicked out of True Lies, forcing us to see Lion King because he was underage. We just liked having him around. Jeremy's the most positive person in my life. He's up for anything, and that attitude's contagious. We're brothers, business partners, and best friends. He brings out the best in me, and even though I hate to admit it, he makes me laugh all the time.
We are so happy Jeremy and Jenna found one another. We thought Jeremy was weird.
Jenna's fit into our family seamlessly, and Mom has a new wine buddy.
Jenna, we have never seen Jeremy happier and more comfortable in his own skin. Thank you for accepting Jeremy for who he is and allowing him to be his true self.
We have always thought he's amazing, and we're just so glad that he's found someone who feels the same way.
We love you both, and we can't wait for Theo, Sawyer, and Falcor to be running amok together.
To Jeremy and Jenna.
Jeremy and Jenna.
No, I think that's
I'll start by saying thank you to everyone for being here today. It's honestly such an amazing feeling to have so many of the most important people in our lives here today under one roof. It's something we're only going to get to experience once, and it's an incredible feeling.
This has already become an amazing day. And I know I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for my mom and dad. You guys have taken care of me and guided my morals all of my life. You have been there for me every step of the way, and I can't thank you enough.
Oh.
The love that you two have given me has made me fearless, as we all know by the stories. And because no matter what happens, I know that you guys will always be there for me when I need you. And I believe that is the big reason why I have able to find my love of my life today. Also, I'm so happy to be a part of Jenna's family. You guys have accepted me for all that I am, and we've had so many good times already that I can't wait for all the memories to come. Thank you for instantly accepting me into your family.
To my mom and dad, so much of who I am today was shaped by you and how you raised me. I'm grateful every day that I was born to such wonderful parents, and I'm so lucky to always have your support. You've always encouraged me to be myself, that weirdness. Let's keep on with the theme. And you've also taught me to be a kind and loving person. My sense of humor also comes from both of you, which is something I value so much in life, and one of the reasons me and Jeremy's relationship is so strong. Herb and Deb, I felt so welcome in your home from day one, and I feel so lucky to be part of your family. Alex and Brad and Luke and Julie, you guys mean so much to me. We really have so much fun together, and I can't wait for all the future memories to come.
Alex and Luke, You are the best big sister and brother that anybody could ever ask for. Alex, you are the most strong, caring woman I have ever met, and you have forced me to be a better brother, son, friend, and basically human being. Thank you for never giving up on me.
Guys, this is all sap, so
I've looked up to you since I was a little kid, and no matter how much time we spend together, we never get sick of each other, and I really couldn't think of a better man's footsteps to follow in. Janine and Tuff, thank you so much for being here for me today. And we have been through so much together, and you guys are two of my best friends. We've had so many good times, and I can't wait for there to be tons more. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
My sisters, Jessica, April, and Carrie, I can't really put into words the impact each of you have had on my life. To say I'm lucky to have sisters like you would be an incredible understatement, and I can't imagine my life without all of you in it. Thank you so much for supporting me in everything I do and being there for me when I need it the most. Nina, you may as well be my sister. We've grown up together and you've stuck by my side through everything. We've stayed close even when living so far apart, sometimes in separate countries, which is honestly pretty incredible. I look up to you in so many ways, and I know that I can always count on you to be there for me no matter what. Honestly, everyone that's in this room today played an important part in making this such an amazing day for us. But a special thanks to Ken for marrying us, our MCs, Brian and Dan, who've been really hilarious, so thank you for that. Yeah. Our wedding planners, Anna and Samantha, and their amazing crew tonight. Honestly, I would have gone totally insane if I didn't have your guys' support, so thank you so much. Our photographers, Caitlin and Eden, our videographer Ethan, our bartenders, Courtney and Beth, DJ Sam, who's gonna kick it up a notch for us right away, yeah. And Max for the awesome food. And a special shout out too to my auntie who made all of the bouquets for us as well, and for everyone that came and helped set up this beautiful venue tonight. Thank you for everything you did for us.
Thank you all so much for coming and making our wedding day such an amazing day. One thing that we really wanted was for our wedding was a big fun party. Woo! So we hope you have the best time tonight. Love you all, and let's have some fun.
Thank you. Jeremy, that won't be forgotten.
I'm so lucky to be standing here today, so absolutely certain with every bone in my body that marrying you is the best decision I will ever make in my entire life. Every day with you is the best day ever, and I can't wait to continue our amazing life together after marrying you today.
Every time I look into your amazing blue eyes, I can see how much you love me, and I hope that you know I love you so much more. It makes me so happy that you have chosen me to be a part of your life. And I can't wait to make you smile, laugh, and take care of you for the rest of our lives. I love you, Bese.